Hi guys, my name is Rishi, and we're back with Manchester United, Rishi's Manchester United warehouse. We were out for a couple of months, primarily because I did not really have that good of a setup. I still don't. I have a better computer now, so I can record videos more frequently. I don't have to rely on like bad, uh, bad hardware to create my videos. I still don't have the best. I'm just shooting out of my laptop. I'd be shooting out of Zoom. So why are we creating this video? So United play Wolverhampton Wanderers on Monday early morning, Sunday night, 12:30 a.m. at Old Trafford. Our first game of the campaign. Very excited. We've finally done business before the first game, and it'll be very exciting to see Onana Mount um, in United shirts. Even Rasmus Højlund, but that seems very unlikely given the conflicting reports around his injury. But yeah, we have players, new players to see. Onana Mount again, like I said, and we have old players to see. Um, and we have the next tactics to see, and that's what we're going to discuss. We're going to discuss the tactical side of the preview, the past historical uh, statistics around Wolves versus Manchester United games, past score lines, what we can expect from Wolves, players that we have to watch out, and some other like spicy gossip around our club, maybe transfer rumors, anything around that. So we're all also going to discuss that too. So we'll start with United play Wolves Monday, and the first game is always really exciting. From my very earliest memories of first games, it was under Moyes' era. I think we lost against Swansea in 2013-14, and yeah, it was not that good. But United have relatively had very slow starts um, in certain campaigns, and we've done really well under Sir Alex Ferguson. We did well even after losing our first two games last year horrendously. But yeah, I don't think finishing third also is a very big deal. Being a Man United supporter, and those are the glory days I'd want to replicate. Not coming third or fourth or fifth or sixth or even second for that matter. The goal for every United fan is to ask for victories, but I'd again like state the fact that our time has still not come. Ten Hag is already in his second season. Arteta has been here for like 4, 5, 6 years. I might be exaggerating, not six, maybe 4 or 5 years. Klopp took time to get Liverpool sailing. We've already done better than Pep in his first season. So you just have to back the manager, give him the right resources, which we have. And I'm really proud of what Murta has done this season. I'm proud of some things that were so wrong with our club that have been resolved. The Harry Maguire situation, him getting released, which I would applaud his utmost professionalism. If he goes, the thing is not really legally binding yet, but it's interesting. Harry Maguire has just left our club. Bruno Fernandes is the captain, and that is exciting. So I'll just start sharing my screen. We'll go through the tactics first. Okay, so let's dive in. So, uh, poor me. The slickness will come once all the stuff. Once I like stop blabbering so much as well. Yeah. So this is what the lineup would look like. Now I won't go with the traditional like skewed view of players sticking to their intended positions. I think this is what Manchester United would look like on Monday. So I'll explain what the setup will be. So we will have Onana in goal, and apologies, I haven't edited that, but obviously Onana in goal. And then we'll have Shaw and Varane maintaining the line, and Dalot and Lisandro. Dalot being the inverted right back that he is, will push forward, and Lisandro Martinez will share this block between this like empty space between Casemiro and the defense, because we saw that in preseason that Lisandro tended to go a little forward, and that comes with the confidence we have in Onana. Probably we don't really have to maintain such a low line. I mean, obviously the opposite of a high line is not low line in footballing terms, but let me just say low line for now. Okay, so we know that Shaw is good defensively, Varane is good defensively, Lisandro can cover the distance, he has the legs on him. So the low, not the best defensively, but for now, I think Pavard is not signed for us yet. Aaron Wan Bissaka is not. It's like out of 10, 5.5 for Dalo, 4.5 for Van Bissaka, in my opinion, for uh, allocation. If you're talking about the allocation of trust from Ten Hag's point of view, and I think Dalo, if fit, will start. So Shaw, Lisandro, Varane, Dalo, Shaw, Lisandro operating just a little bit forward. Not really a central defensive midfielder, but not really Stones, what Stones does for Man City, but maybe just trying to go a little forward from his like CB position. Then we have Casemiro operating in that central defensive midfielder position, and I think Casemiro's his display against uh, Lens, if I'm not wrong, Lens was terrific. He was very poor in the first couple of preseason matches, but as soon as he got into that Lens game, I think Casemiro made some classic Casemiro-esque tackles near the near his box, and then he made some wonderful passes. He went for shots. I think Casemiro is the kind of guy. He's a perfect six. He will stay there. He will put in some worldly tackles, put in some passes, shoot from way out, and yeah, that's his role. And I think Fernandez will just try to stay with him for a long time. I think a lot of people are expecting Mount to play a deeper role, but I think even if Mount starts deeply, his goal scoring instincts will kick in. Like we saw against Lens, he was in like prime goal scoring positions and opportunities, and he was driving forward and trying to capture those like positions where he could like shoot. And I think Fernandez, just with his mature self right now, he knows the team. He has to at least stay behind for a couple of matches. Let Mount understand his surroundings. Let Mount get used to Garnacho, Anthony, Rashford, Sancho, and even Rasmus Højlund when he comes back. Let him um, have this like freedom of moving forward, and maybe then we can like mold him to a deep lying midfielder. But for now, I think Fernandez stays behind Mount. Mount plays that traditional number 10 role in the middle. And I see Anthony shadowing Mount on the right, and he will be that typical Anthony that we have seen and our rivals tend to hate. We know Anthony to be this wasteful person who likes to go on his left and shoot these worldies from outside and maybe one or two touch. But I see Anthony as this cognitive player with like tremendous work rate, trying to cover for Dalo, chasing players to his box. It's an amazing trait, and I love Anthony for that. And maybe if we can um, get this 23-year-old to like hit the target more often, I think Anthony is a killer player. He can track back, he can shoot from distance, he can cut through players on the inside. He has a killer left foot. At 23, he has almost, and this might be a hot take, at 23, he has a better left foot than a lot of great one-footed players like Robin or Ribery. And I think his opportunity is his opportunity in this season is to grow, is to score uh, more than 8 to 10 goals this season, assist a few times, because what we see from Anthony is a lack of deliveries from the wing, and that's where we have Garnacho on the left. Garnacho even if people think that he is that selfish player who tries to dribble and be direct, I think Garnacho is very young. It's very hard to judge him right now. He is a passionate person, but from what we have observed in the last few friendlies, is that Garnacho tries to put the ball in on the feet of some of his United teammates, like Mount, like Fernandez, like Anthony, like Rashford. He's constantly trying to feed balls into the box from the left hand side, like Mount's clear miss. Garnacho could have taken that shot like 2 steps earlier, but he laid the ball onto Mount and he missed. But yeah, Garnacho has become a little less selfish, in my opinion. And the left channel of Manchester United is also really scary because Garnacho really does not do that stellar of a job as Anthony of tracking back, of protecting his line, of like staying with Shaw. Um, Shaw shoots forward, Garnacho shoots forward, they put in a counter attack and we're finished. So that is one way Wolves can open us. But I think we have Lisandro trying to cover that position as well. He can drop back and try to protect that position too. So, like, this is what Manchester United might look like. Um, to be honest, Wolves, I really don't know. They have a new manager. We we have typically had difficult fixtures against Wolves, and maybe this will not be that easy. So, let me just pull in the screen for you, uh, where we talk about our past fixtures between Manchester United and Wolves. So, if you observe, May 2023, 13th May, we beat Wolves 2-0, but it was a difficult game. It was a dogged game, if you remember. And then 1-0, 1-0. Wolves beat us 1-0. 1-0, 2-1, 1-0, 0-0, 1-0, 0-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-1. So, exactly, over the last few years, Manchester United and Wolves have fought deep. They've had really dogged encounters, and I guess Wolves are the kind of team that they are difficult to play with. And yeah, so if you look at their players, for example, a couple of them absolutely stand out, in my opinion. There is Sasa Kalajdzic, who is very, very tall. He is quick on his feet. There's Jose Sa, who's a great goalkeeper. There's Craig Dawson, Matt Doherty. These are great players, but yeah, I mean, they don't have the side that they used to once upon a time. Um, with Neves and all these players, like, yeah, so they don't have the squad anymore, the depth maybe, but what we can expect from Wolves is a dogged encounter, especially since they'll have a new manager, and historically we've had dogged encounters with Wolves. Um, Next on the agenda is to discuss certain rumors. So, Man United have had a difficult window. And why I say it's a difficult window is because even though we have signed some top talent, our, s- our squad is not that thick if you look at it. It's still a very thin squad. Now, what do I mean by thin? So, we take the center forward position. We have signed Hoyland. But who is our real backup? Is Martial a backup? I don't think so. He's never fit. Is Rashford a backup? He certainly likes to play from the left. We saw the Gary Neville interview. He certainly thinks. We saw Sir Alex Ferguson talk about Rashford. They all think these are footballing minds. They all think that he is more effective from the left, and that's what the stats say as well. Who do we have as a replacement for Garnacho? Maybe Sancho. But who do we have a replacement for Anthony? Sancho, Traore, or Pedestri? So these are not really great uh, options. If you're me, maybe Pelestri has shown some bright features against opponents in the preseason tour. But I think Pelestri is still very raw. So is Diallo. But yeah, I mean, we don't really have a central defensive midfielder. Maybe we'll sign Amrabat. Yeah, almost it's done. And then we'll have some depth, especially since McTominay and Fred are leaving. Even Van de Beek is leaving. So attacking midfielder wise, we have Mountain Bruno and Hannibal Mejabri. We have Kobe Mainu in a CDM position as well, but he's injured again. And maybe Ericsson, who is at the end of the day not a player who can play two matches for 90 minutes a week. And since we're playing the Champions League this season, I think that part is not easy to ignore. Now, sure, we have Tyrell Malacia, who is a decent replacement, but what if Tyrell Malacia is also injured? I don't know who can play left back. Maybe Lindelof, maybe Brandon Williams if he stays. I don't know. Brandon Williams might not stay. Goalkeeper Onana, Kovar. We don't really have a third goalkeeper. Varane, Lindelof. We don't really have a third defender. If we are signing Pavard, he can play in Martinez's position. He can play in Dalo's position as well. But he's not good at either of those positions. So yeah, it's a very tricky transfer window. Yes, we have signed a lot of players, and maybe we need time to reach certain levels. We need like two or three more transfer windows to get in the players that we want, create that like coveted squad depth, and then maybe we can push forward. And then maybe we can try to put a possible title challenge on Man City or even match Arsenal for that matter, even though I feel like United will it will be much closer between United and Arsenal this season. Um about the transfer rumors now. So there is concrete news around Benjamin Pavard like joining Manchester United, and I am excited for it. But like I said, like he doesn't really fulfill the Dalo role or the Martinez role that well. Is he better than Lindelof as a centre back? Hmm, I don't really know that. I don't think so. Lindelof has been decent for us last season. He is cool. He's calm. When not with Maguire, he looks about two times better than the player he is. And maybe Pavard, who is also very slow, uh, weakens that if he starts in front of Lindelof. What Pavard can do is if we try to play like three defenders, if we play a 3-4-3 uh, formation, then Pavard can slip in. Pavard, Martinez, Varane, the three base defenders. And maybe then we can play four midfielders and Mount, Fernandez, Casemiro, and another. Maybe Mainu if he's fit. And we can focus on the attack with whatever iteration you want. Maybe then in certain matches, Ten Hag decides to play that defensive team. Maybe then Pavard is a decent fit. Otherwise, Pavard just seems like a bad decision for us. But I'm excited. If Ten Hag wants Pavard, we should get Pavard. As simple as that. So, the next thing to discuss after Pavard is Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund is injured right now. He's not going to play at least till Arsenal, is what I'm hearing. And that is disappointing because if Rasmus Højlund would have had a preseason for us, maybe he would have played at the center forward position and maybe Rashford would have gone towards the left. Just give me a break. Yeah, so Rasmus Højlund maybe would have played at center forward and maybe Rashford could have played on the left, and that would have been my first choice starting 11. this season. Even though I think uh, I would, if I were the manager of Manchester United, which I'm totally qualified not to do, I would have stated the fact that I would have maybe played Mount or Bruno on certain big games. I would have not played them both. I would have played Mainu and Casemiro at the same time, or Mainu or Amrabat or Casemiro or Amrabat. I'm that kind of a manager. I'd like put in a few defensive players. Even by a manager, I mean a FIFA manager. But yeah, so I guess that's it. That's all that we have discussed today. I think we covered most of it, and I hope you liked my awkward video. Otherwise, yeah, we'll try again next week. Try to be a slicker version of myself and maybe come up with a better video. Till then, GGMU.